It's a brand new day, let's teach your way. It's time for Musicplay.
Welcome back to the holiday edition of the Musicplay Minutes podcast. This episode is also available as a webinar with a handout and a PD certificate. All extra resources, including visual examples mentioned in this episode, can be found at workshops.musicplay.ca. Nothing quite says it's the holidays like the ringing of bells, unless you're a music teacher. For you, that's just another Wednesday. In this episode, Denise Gagne will demonstrate some great little holiday arrangements for pitched and unpitched instruments, including bells, and for some of your older students, the bucket drums. Denise will also share some cool ideas to elevate your concert using blacklight. You won't want to skip this episode.
Hello, everybody, and happy Thanksgiving to all of our American friends. Thanksgiving in Canada was the first weekend in October. So as much as I love turkey, I'm not doing it again tomorrow. But I wish you all a really happy Thanksgiving. As you can see, I have Musicplay team, wonderful musicians here to help me. I feel like this is going to be a little more challenging than most of the webinars because we're doing a whole bunch of stuff live, and I'm doing this on not as much sleep as perhaps I should. So we're going to start off with some of the holiday Orff pieces. I will share with you that in the instruments section of Musicplay Online, as of today, we have added an Orff section. Not everything is there yet. The complete Orff directory is still in units, but it just makes sense to have Orff in the instruments section. So here is our Orff. The Orff style is actually Orff style body percussion, and it's by Bethany Ellen, our wonderful Orff teacher from Australia/British Columbia. And our holiday Orff is here. And so I'm going to start off with Winter is Here. This is probably the easiest ones. We maybe should have started off with a real primary one. Winter is Here has a crossover bordoon, so it's not super easy. You can see the crossover bordoon here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to teach our team, pretend to teach our team by rote. They're all really good musicians and they have the music in front of them. But if you were doing this in class, you'd be teaching everything by rote. And down below, we have activities for it as well. So you've got projectable, I can make it full screen, and you've got the activities. And then we're going to go right from that into Carol of the Bells, which is quite a bit more challenging. I've said here suggested grade levels 4 to 6. In fact, if you've got grade 7/8s, I would do this with grade 7/8s. You can simplify this and leave sections out. When my daughter did this last year or the year before, she simplified considerably for her students, and she didn't do the challenge melody. But you can kind of make this your own, and you have our full blessing and encouragement to do what you need to do to make things work for your students. And I'll be adding to the teaching notes because as I've been going through the process of working through it for the webinar, discovered a few things that I think perhaps we could do differently. So we are now live with our Musicplay team, and I'm going to back it up a little bit here. And let's just get everybody to give a wave. So we've got Morgan McKee. Morgan is our everything man. Morgan is a phenomenal jazz pianist. He's our recording engineer. He is also the district's lead. So if you talk to anybody in districts, it's probably Morgan. Brian, give a wave. Brian is customer support and also doing some video creation now, which is really cool. Carrie Lynn is our operations manager. She manages everything and everybody, and she's a whole lot better at doing it than I am. So yay, Carrie Lynn. She's just back from Africa, so serious jet lag going on, but really neat experiences in Africa, including getting engaged. Flash it. This is wonderful. And then we have Lisa Ward. Lisa Ward is our choral conductor extraordinaire. She's got some really seriously good choral skills. If any of you are ever looking for somebody to direct your state elementary honor choirs, this is your person, or middle school choirs or high school choirs. She's just done amazing things. And we're so lucky to have her here with us and coaching our little children when they are singing. So we're going to pretend that these guys don't know how to play Winter is Here. So class, Winter is Here. We're going to teach this song by rote. And of course for us, can't see out our windows, but winter is here. We have like this much snow, ice in the parking lot. We've had slip and falls already. Winter is most definitely here. So this is a little piece with lots of opportunities for improvising with movement, improvising with instruments. So because my voice doesn't work, Lisa's going to teach the song by rote for me.
All right. Winter is here.
Winter is here.
And we'll repeat. Winter is here.
Winter is here.
Now 4 bars. Let's go sledding 'cause winter is here.
Let's go sledding 'cause winter is here. Now the whole song.
All right. Winter is here. Winter is here. Let's go sledding 'cause winter is here. Winter is here. Winter is here. Let's go sledding 'cause winter is here.
So this has the nice little crossover bordune. So class, would you put your hands on your laps and we're going to practice F, C, F, C, F, C, F, C. And you can see this class is the gifted and talented. They have it no problem. Can you do it with your fingertips on the instruments? So find your F and go F, C, F, C, F, C, F. And again, this is the gifted and talented class. Your kids will never do it that quickly. But now we'll try it with mallets. Ready? And F, C. And let's sing the song.
Winter is here. Winter is here. Let's go sledding 'cause winter is here.
And let's add the other parts to it. So we have a soprano metallophone, and the soprano metallophone is going to go rest, play, rest, or so winter is here. Winter is here. Let's go sledding 'cause winter is here. And that's what the soprano metallophone does. Then we have finger cymbals, and you always have to remind your kids how to hold them. Kids are so tempted to do this. This is what it seems like it's logically designed for. So you have to really work to convince your kids to hold like this. So the finger cymbal part is ding, 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 ding. So let's add that. Thank you so much, Brian. And I like to start with at least one repetition of the bass xylophone part and then bring the other instruments in. So let's just do one repetition of the bass and then we'll all come in. So F. And we sing. Winter is here.
Winter is here. Let's go sledding 'cause winter is here.
Now, there's lots of opportunities to improvise here. So I would have kids think of different things and activities that they can do in the winter. I went sledding 2 weeks ago. Grandma survived it. The hardest part is getting down to that sled and then getting off again. So you could do sledding or you could do skating. My little hockey players this year gave up hockey so that they could do tricks on ice skates. So I have 3 figure skaters and 1 hockey player instead of 4 hockey players. So I would get the kids to set it up so that they take the E's and the B's off, and then they have F, G, A, and the C to improvise on. And again, if they're really strong kids, give them more notes. So while we do the improv section, we're going to improvise some movement. So we'll just do skating, just because it's nice and easy to do in a fairly small space. So we're going to sing as the A section, improvise and move as the B section, and then we'll finish off with singing it again. Okay, so let's start with let's do the bass twice this time as an intro. That would feel better than once. Winter is here, winter is here. Let's go sledding 'cause winter is here. Now the improv. And we sing again. Winter is here, winter is here. Let's go sledding 'cause winter is here. And I just realized we sang sledding. We could have sung skating instead, and it would have made a little bit more sense tying it in with the improvisation. So the Orff pieces that are in the Holiday Orff section are doable. This one's intended, I would say, grade 3, grade 4, because of the crossover. There's other ones with just a really simple bordune that you could certainly do with your younger primary students. But I want to do Carol of the Bells. This is a challenge piece. This is a great piece if you've got upper elementary that need a challenge. So I'm going to go through the different parts that we have in here. So the first part that I would teach is the ostinato part, that the basses and the glockenspiels, and I think the ultima telephone has it at some point. So it's, can you give me the A? A, G, F, E on your instruments. A, G, F, E. And again. A, G, F, E. And I think everybody but the soprano gets that part at some point in this particular arrangement. And of course, make it your own. If you want to add it on the soprano mellophone at some point, feel free. But in this arrangement, it doesn't get to play it. So that actually is what starts off the piece. The introduction is at A, G, F, E on the glockenspiel, and the glockenspiel will repeat it. Next part I would teach is the level bordune, and this is split between the alto mellophone and the glockenspiel. So it's an A and an E on the alto mellophone, and it's answered on the glockenspiel. If you've got really good ears, you will pick out that we don't have an actual glockenspiel with the full range of notes. So we're having to play the A and the low E because we don't have the high E. It doesn't exist on this instrument, but the instrument plays really nicely in tune, so we like it. So let's do that, the A, G, F, E, and then add the level bordune. So A, G, add the level bordune, and 1, 2. Nice. So those are part of the song. We have a little motif that everybody knows this. C, B, C, A, C, B, C, A. And I would teach it to everybody. And does everybody get it in the song? I think maybe the bass doesn't. But let's try that together. Teach all parts to everybody. Here we go. C, B, C, A, C, B, C, A, C, B, C, A, C, B, C, A. Nice. Of course, these guys are really good at it. There is a little counter motif that comes in at the end of the A1 section, which is just the same melody up a third, and it comes in on the glockenspiel. Do you want to play that for us?
Sure.
One of those bars isn't ringing as nicely as it should. Okay, so those melodies. Now comes the actual challenge melody, and it's ya ba 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 ba. That is really quite tricky, and not all kids at grade 4 level are going to be able to get it. But if you approach it slowly and carefully, they may. I would start with the end of that melody rather than the beginning. So the end of the melody is a tremolo on E. 1, 2, 3. A, E, A. So let's try that on all instruments. E, A, E. So let's let's go on and try the challenge melody. And I want you to do it on your legs first. And I'm going to mirror for them. So it's A, G, F, E, D, C. Let's do that much. A, G, F, E, D, C. Next part is D, E, D, A, D, E, D, A. Let's try that with fingertips on the instruments first. And fingertips are good, or the ends of the mallets are good. 1, 2, 3. A, G, F, E, D, C, D, E, D, A. Let's hear what that sounds like with the butt ends of the mallets. This is a strategy that some people use because it's a tiny bit quieter than having everybody play at the same time. Here we go. A, G, F, E, D, C, D, E, D, A. And that's one of those melodies that your kids are going to have in their head, and they're going to love it, and they're going to be able to play it 6 months from now. Let's try it with the actual mallets. Okay, 1, 2, 3. A, G, F, E, D, C, D, E, D, A. Beautiful. And then let's add on the tremolo. E, A. So you can actually, in this piece, combine those in any combination that you want. But the way that it's written is complex enough that we've included, this actually comes in this book, The Holiday Orff Source. Everything is online. Have we put the parts online?
The Carol of Bells, yes.
Okay, so the parts are online as well. I would actually encourage you to use the parts for the kids, especially if they're kids in grade 6 and 7. I know that's not the way we would teach most Orff arrangements, but because of the complexity of this one, it's going to just be a whole lot easier if you give the parts to the kids instead of trying to remember all the sections. If you do want to do the whole thing by rote, I would take it chunk by chunk by chunk. So first day, we would do the intro and the A section. Let's do that much, the intro and the A section. So the intro is just the glockenspiel, doing A, G, F, E, A, G, F, E. The A section, we had the little motif on the soprano, we had the level bordune, and we had the A, G, F, E on the bass xylophone. So that's what we're gonna do day 1. We're gonna attempt to get that far. Ready, and go. A, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So motif, level bordune, and bass. And we're done for the day. The next day they come back, we review that part, and we go on to the A1 section, which is still the little motif going. I've forgotten. We've got a Jingle Bells part in here, and I'm supposed to be playing it. So I'll add the Jingle Bells. Important thing with the Jingle Bells is that you have to be able to damp them so they don't rattle consistently. So now what changes in the A1 is that the glockenspiel has the same melody that they did in the opening. You're no longer doing the level bordune. The bordune transfers to the bass. So bass has bordune. There is the little ostinato part in the glockenspiel. Motif stays on the xylophone, and the metallophone now has the ostinato part as well. So let's just do the A1 section, and I will add the little Jingle Bells to this. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then add the counter motif. And that's it for day 2. That's as far as we're going to go. We'll review part 1 and we'll go on to the A1 section and we'll stop there for that day. The next day they come back in and we'll go, okay, today we're going to tackle the challenge melody. A, G, F, E. So that challenge melody is in the glockenspiel, the xylophone, and the bass gets it, which is kind of cool. And the metallophone plays the bourdon. And I get to do the jingle bells with this. At the end of the challenge melody, we're going to do a nice diminuendo so we can repeat back to the A section and we'll be nice and soft for the beginning of this. So this B section is a forte, so you're going to hear a little bit more sound. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And we'll stop there. So that's most of it. All we have to learn now is the ending. And so next day, the kids come back in, we review chunk 1, chunk 2, chunk 3, and we go on to the ending. And the ending is going to be the C, B, C, A motif 4 times and a fermata at the end of that. The bass is playing the bourdon for us, the jingle bells are playing, and then we all play A and E to end. So let's try the ending. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And if you've got kids that watch you that well, you are such a good teacher. So we're going to try the whole piece with all the repeats. Wish us luck. Okay, here we go. It's okay. Now level bourdons and motif. 1, 2, 3. A1 section. Counter motif. B section. Back to the A. 1, 2, 3. A1. The counter motif and the B. Ending. So, wasn't that fun? Beautiful piece. Again, teach what chunks your kids can manage and feel free to make it your own. So we're going to say goodbye to Lisa and to Brian, and we're going to go on to a little bit of recorder.
Thank you guys.
Thank you so much. Yes, bravissimo, bravissimo. So holiday recorder is actually new on the site, so you probably haven't seen this before. So the holiday recorder, we give the songs in two parts, standard notation, two parts with the kids' notation. So if your kids are struggling readers, help them out, give them this. I always say this is way better than penciling in note names, because when they pencil in note names, all they look at is the letters that they've written in. This way, they are following the placement on the staff. They're seeing that this is a quarter note, this is a whole note, so they're reading the rhythms. It's easier to transition kids from kids' notes to standard notation than from pencil markings to standard notation. I have seen this enough to know that this is a really good intermediate step. And then if you've got really good kids, try the 3-part arrangement. There's 4 parts on here. It's soprano, soprano, alto recorder, but because we don't often have enough time to teach kids a brand new set of fingerings for the alto, I transpose the music so that you can play the alto part with soprano fingerings. So I have alto recorder here, and we're going to play for you Jolly Old St. Nicholas. We'll do it first, the easy version, and we'll do it unaccompanied. Let's just do the first 2 systems unaccompanied. So this is Jolly Old. 1, 2, 3. So if my kids can play it unaccompanied well enough to do that, then I might let them play it with the accompaniment track. So there's a slow track and a fast track. So this is the slow track, 2 systems. Get to this point, and then we're going to try Jolly Old St. Nicholas at tempo, and we'll play 4 systems. This is a nicer tempo. Isn't that fun? So that is one of our recorder pieces, and we have a whole bunch of them on there.
Do you want to do alto?
Oh, yes, we want to do the alto. I actually play in an ensemble, and I do play sopranino, soprano, alto, tenor, and bass. It challenges my brain immensely to switch from one to the next. But for the kids, if you give them the transposed alto, as long as you can teach them how to play F sharp, they can play this. And my method of teaching F sharp, put on F, add 2 fingers, take away F. And that gives me the F sharp that I need to play the transposed alto part. Okay, should we try it same tempo?
Sure.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. So you will find this same combination, 2 sopranos, alto, with the transposed alto in the recorder regular section, recorder kit 2. It's not holiday specific. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
We might try some drumming.
Yeah, let's drum.
Let's drum.
All right.
Back to the instruments section. So I'll show you where we just were. We were in instruments and we were in recorder, and we are doing the brand new holiday songs for recorder. So we did Jolly Old St. Nicholas, but you can see we've got a really nice assortment of pieces. They are sequential, so Jolly Old St. Nicholas is about the easiest of them. So you can see here we have a video of it. We have a video of the kids' notes. We have Jolly Old St. Nicholas standard notation, and then we have down here in the resources, you have the sheet music, and this includes everything that I showed you. It includes standard notation, kids' note notation, and parts. And you can download the slow and the fast accompaniment tracks. So you can download any of our accompaniment tracks. So if I go back into instruments and go into drumming, I'm going to go into Djembe with drummer Dan. And I believe this is a big djembe that I have here. And he teaches how to play the djembe in here. But if I go to Sing Noel, he teaches us how to play the drum parts. If you're at home, play on your table. Find a low tone and a high tone on your table. So I'm going to do the teaching video first. So we're just going to do the easy one. And he's very
Starting to feel
charismatic
like the
on
holidays out
screen.
there, and I think we should do some holiday songs. We're gonna make some patterns now for Sing Noel. Such a great song. We're gonna do a basic pattern, and then we can look at another video for a complex pattern. Our basic pattern will start with groups of 4. We're gonna go 2 low patterns and 2 high sounds. So low, low, high, high as our first little group. Can you play that with me 4 times? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Low, low, high, high. High, low. One more time. Awesome job. Now for the second part, let's go low, high, low, and then put that big rest at the end. So it goes low, high, rest. Well, that'll sound pretty cool. Can we do that 4 times? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Low, high, rest. Rest, low, high, low. One more. Rest. Awesome. We're going to put those 2 together. So we're going to go low, low, high, high. And then we're going to go low, high, low, rest. Ready to play that with me 4 times? Here we go.
I am.
1, 2, 3, 4. Low, low, high, high, low, high. Rest. Low, low, high, high. Good. Low, low. Rest. Rest. Awesome job.
And go to the performance where we get to play with the song Sing Noel. So play along on your lap or whatever
1,
you can.
2, 3, 4. Low, 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 high. Rest. Low, low, high, high, low. Yeah. Rest. Keep it going now. High, high, low. Rest. Rest. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Hoo. Great job. Keep it going now. Low, low, high, low, high. Yeah. Just do it. Off job. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 4. 1, 2. Keep it going. Almost done. Huh. There we go. Rest. Rest. So good. So festive. I was feeling the spirit. Were you? Stick around for the complex version.
And there is a complex version, but because I'm not such a good drummer, I'm going to let you figure that. Well, maybe we should just look at a little bit of this. No teaching. I should have done the teaching, but we're going to go ahead and do the complex version. One,
sure.
Okay, why not?
Let's do it.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8.
Oh, this is fun.
Yeah. Great job. Low, low, high, high, high. Good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 1, 2. Keep it going. Great. 8. Yeah. Good. Keep it going. And
And I'm going to stop here.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
So that was fun. Yeah, Morgan can play drums a whole lot better than I can. Okay, back into instruments. Actually, I'm going to go to holiday ideas. So up here is Deck the Halls with, this is a John Jacobson recording. You can tell it's John Jacobson because his little smiling face is at the end here. So these are created by John and Jason, and this is the Musicplay Online ones. So let's do the Deck the Halls first. And again, I love that Mr. Frank teaches the whole thing. So it gives you a few minutes of voice rest, and he's engaging on screen, and the kids will like it. We'll just listen to a little bit of the teaching, and then we'll jump to the performance.
Hey everyone, it's Mr. Boom Boom, and today we're doing a special holiday bucket drumming session. I'm gonna teach you how to play patterns on the song Deck the Halls. So if you're ready to drum, grab your sticks, grab your bucket, and let's play. Our first pattern has quarter notes and eighth notes, but we're using 3 different parts of the bucket. We're gonna use the middle, the edge, and the side. This is how the pattern goes. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and. Play along with me, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and. Count along, let's keep playing. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and. Now, I'm gonna call out where I'm hitting the bucket this time. Here we go. Middle, edge, middle, side, side, middle, edge, middle, side, side, middle, edge, middle, side, side. All right, we're gonna practice this first pattern again, but we're gonna go a little bit faster. Are you ready? All right, let's try it. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 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 and stop. Very good. You're ready to learn our second pattern. And our second pattern also has eighth notes and a quarter note, but they're in a different spot. So follow along. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. Play and count along with me. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. Great. Now let's go a little bit faster. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. Very good. Keep playing now. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. Stop. Now that we've learned both patterns, let's play them. So let's start off with the first one, and then I'm going to call out to change to the next one.
I'm
Here we
gonna
go.
jump ahead
1,
to the
2,
song.
3, go. 1, 2, 3. You did it. You played both patterns. Now it's time to play. But if you need more practice time, it's okay. Just pause the video and practice. But if you are ready now, let's do a big drum roll. 1, 2, 3, drum roll. Let's play. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and. Very good. Remember to hit the sides. 1, 2, 3, side, side. 1, 2, 3, side, side. Keep going now. 1, 2, 3, side, side. 1, 2, 3, That was so much fun. I hope you enjoyed our holiday bucket drumming session. And grown-ups,
That was enough of a challenge to make me work. I'm going to teach you an easier bucket drumming one. Okay, so March from the Nutcracker. And we can go through each of the parts. I think this will show us the parts one bit by bit. So to practice the parts alone, the initial part, we're going to use the top, the rim, and click. So on the top, ta, triple ta, 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 click, ta, triple ta, 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 ta. On the rim, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, click. So that is the first section, and we've got lots more to follow. This one is similar, starts the same, ready, go, ta. I should mention, if you don't have buckets with you, do this. Use your lap for the top, clap the rim, and snap the clicks. Let's do this section like this. Ready, go. Ta, triple a ta, 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 ta. Click. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, triple a ta, 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 ta. So you can teach your bucket drumming pieces using the body percussion first, then it's an easy transfer to the buckets. So let's try. The next one is, I think this is probably fairly easy reading. That looks similar to the first. And then I think we have one more pattern. This is the fourth pattern. Ready? And click. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Rim. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Click. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Rim. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm going to escape from this and go to the video so I don't have to turn pages. And the video is here. It includes the overhead view, so it's easy for your kids. Those children that really struggle reading the notation can follow the sticking of the overhead view, and they can still participate with you. Skip the first beat. Don't even attempt to play it. Just come in on beat 2. lots and lots of fun. So how are we doing for time? 10 minutes. Okay, I didn't leave myself quite enough time for everything, but you know what? It's all good. So that was bucket drumming with Mr. Frank. That was bucket drumming. I'm going to go back into instruments and just show you what there is for unpitched. Lots of holiday ideas here. We have this wealth of ideas because last year a lot of schools weren't allowed to sing in Christmas concerts. So we were trying to give as many possible performance ideas as possible. The Just One Candle is really quite easy. The Christmas ABCs, we have Z for the Canadians, Z for the Americans. I'll do Z just because. This is animated play along. So it's quite easy for your littles to do. And remember, you can slow this down if that's going too quick for your kids. Drum, drum, I bet that sounds weird for all my American friends. But if I go back to my search, that's Christmas ABCs. Just One Candle has just 2 different kinds of rhythm instruments, and we did this one with the overhead view. So it's got finger cymbals and sticks, and it's really quite lovely. Now, I'm not going to worry about it. I'll play the sticks.
Just one candle shining in a window pane gives a light for all to see, a shining flame, shining through the darkness. It helps to show the way. Light your candle for peace today. Shine your light for peace. Shine it all around the world. Sing to everyone. Let your voice be heard. Shine your light for peace. Shine it everywhere. Show the people in the world you care.
So the unpitched are sequenced. Some are difficult, some are not, but there's lots of options there. Boom whackers. And I didn't bring the boom whackers out, and I probably should have. So we've got all sorts of boom whackers. If you're using them as a pre-recorder instrument, I strongly suggest you start with the 5-note. And if you look in the introduction, I've written a guide to everything that's on the website for boom whackers. I would suggest taking a look at it. So holiday specific ideas. My favorite on the boom whackers is the Christmas chopsticks. It's in 2 parts and it's really quite fun for the kids to play. We didn't put the long version of that one in, but we should. We should put the long version of this one in where it goes faster at the end. And it's quite fun. We do have the colored notation. We have kids' notes, colored, and standard. So you can choose what you want. There is a PDF score for you to print out, and we do have accompaniment tracks for you to download from those. So that is the boom whackers. Now, this next area has so much. I could spend a whole webinar just on this. But if I go to festivals and holidays, and I go to Happy Holidays, I actually just updated the materials in here. We have 4 sections, all these related songs. There is so much in here. So just to quickly do a very fast rundown. Concert etiquette wrap is here. This is so that your parents know, turn the cell phones off. Don't be paparazzi parents and come flooding the stage and taking pictures of our kids. Thanks for coming to our show is another kind of concert etiquette wrap. And we've never recorded it, but it's thanks for coming to our show. And it's very, very easy for you to teach. Caroling videos, often schools do this. And we have ended up putting each one of these songs individually into concept slides. Holiday song parodies they were new last year. I don't know how many people have found them. I love these things. I'm doing Jingle Bells, Batman Smells with our children's choir. Needless to say, it is their favorite song. We've added some words. Superman came too. The Flashes brought a light. Spider-Man brought his guitar. He'll play and sing tonight. And then Jingle Bells, Batman Smells. I am going to write a program using these parodies because they're really, really quite clever. Deck the halls with poison ivy. Fa la 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 la. This will make the day so lively. I like that one. Hark, I hear a Christmas song. Think this season's is too long. And that's about starting Christmas in September. And oh Christmas tree, why do you look so awful? I saw the elf upon the shelf. And speaking of elf on a shelf, John Jacobson has written an elf on a shelf song that's super cute if you want to use it. So here's solfa and rhythm activities. All these activities are just around Jingle Bells. Jingle Bells is a wee bit not a wee bit. Jingle Bells is controversial these days because Jingle Bells was used in minstrel shows. My thought, when we've done the research and we've dug into it, it was not written expressly for minstrel shows, but because it was a popular song then, as it's a popular song now, it was used in minstrel shows. You know your community, you make the decision whether to use Jingle Bells or not. Here's the Holiday Orff arrangements. They are also now in instruments. And we have them in French for our French-speaking teachers as well. A whole set of play-alongs, flashcard play-alongs, and a listening glyph on Deck the Halls. Jolly Old St. Nicholas, another kind of play-along here. And then we have We Wish You a Merry Christmas with body percussion, clap game, disembodied clap game. This one is funny because I did it under black lights and it just looks really funny. This is It Came Upon a Midnight Clear with some scarf things. Here's a Carol of the Bells listening example. So here's a compare and contrast styles. Here's arrangement 1, here's arrangement 2, and you get the kids to compare the two. There's all these play-alongs to do on instruments and some more, lots and lots more listening activities. So there is a wealth of materials on there for your holidays. I would love to have your questions. What questions do we have?
I have a couple here. So first one about the March on the Bucket Drum. Mm-hmm. How do you manage a class of 25 to play this? Any tips?
Well, okay, here's my biggest tip. Instead of just playing on the plastic bucket, I damp it with this, and it just makes a huge difference. The other thing you can do is you can damp the tips of the drumsticks by putting an eraser top over it. So you put the eraser top over it, and it also damps the sound. You could give them foam pieces to drum with, but I have found that using this yoga mat cut up makes a huge difference. I like things that are free, cheap, or easy. This one's cheap because we can buy a yoga mat at Dollarama in Canada for $4. I think they're actually $5 now, but they make 32 8 by 5 inch yoga mats, and so that makes just the world of difference to me in the sound of this. I guess another way you could do it would be to split the sections and have one half of your class play the first section and the other half of the class play the second section. And that would also make the sound softer. And we don't want any music teachers losing their hearing. I'm fairly sure I've got a little bit of deafness going on. So yes, one of the people in the chat, Jillian, said, I actually glued mine down so they don't move. I haven't glued mine down and I just haven't gotten around to it, but that's probably a really good idea.
I think someone was asking for the name of the yoga mats, where they were from.
Okay. We have a dollar store in Canada that you don't have in the US, and it's called Dollarama. So Canadians can get these super cheap yoga mats. In the States, somebody's going to have to do some hunting and find where there is a cheap source of yoga mats. These actually aren't even bad yoga mats. I use them and I don't mind them. So for $5, it's a heck of a deal because there are lots of places they're $20, $25.
Where can we find Carol of the Bells on Musicplay Online?
Okay, so go into instruments, and this is new as of today, Orff section. Go to Holiday Orff, and Carol of the Bells is there. And so you've got teaching suggestions in slide form. I think we're going to update those because we've discovered through the teaching process that there might be more to it. And then here is printable version. So there's the full score, and the parts are in here as well. And the parts very much are needed, I think, if you're going to perform this particular arrangement of it. You can certainly rearrange and simplify.
Where can we find the sheet music for the holiday recorder section?
Same thing. It hasn't been on the site for long. So go into instruments, go into recorder, and then it's here, holiday songs for recorder. I think it was up last week briefly and it went down, and now it's back up for good. So it's all here. I was going to mention when we did that holiday recorder, and I didn't think to say it, but what I would do with those pieces, I would give them to my kids that had done beginner recorder the year before. And I would just give it to them. I wasn't doing recorder in December, but I'd say, hey, who would like a booklet of holiday songs? And most of the kids would take them home. And then sort of as a prequel to the holiday concert, I would have kids that wanted to perform them. And so the one year in particular, I had a really strong grade 5 group. I had a little group that played Jingle Bells. I had a little group that played Jolly Old St. Nicholas. And those are the pieces you'd expect kids to be able to play. And then I had one little boy who was a really musical kid play Silent Night on the recorder. And the audience sort of goes, recorder, and then he started to play, and the whole audience went dead. Let's see. It's got some high E's, some high F's, and he did it. He figured it out. So it was that's a really fond teaching memory when Sean played Silent Night. And it's a really good way to get your kids sort of psyched up, and then you start them in recorder in January.
Perfect. And I have one final question that has been asked by a couple of people. Tips for black light in performances. How to light the stage, where to put it.
Okay, I would put them at the foot of the stage, and I would have as many as you can. I was lucky. I had a principal that had the black lights, and I don't know why he even had them, but he had this whole set of black lights. He'd bring them in, he'd set them all up for me. So if I wanted to do something fun, it was done. Last year when we recorded March from the Nutcracker with black lights, I decided I don't think that's a really good idea, because I spray painted a bucket, I spray painted a pair of sticks, and it took a whole can of fluorescent paint. And if I was to do a class set, it would cost a fortune. If you can do it, I would get those light up drumsticks and do that instead. Where do I have that picture? I have a picture of Jackie, and Jackie is a teacher. I'm not even sure where she teaches, but she is in her 70s. This lady has more energy than all of us put together. She had major heart surgery, and 2 weeks later, she was doing bucket drums in her Veterans Day assembly. And she had lights that she put under the buckets, and she had these light up drumsticks, and it looked, so this is what Jackie's buckets with lights looked like. Jackie is on the Musicplay teachers group on Facebook, and she posted this picture here. But that to me is a way better thing to do with the kids than trying to do the black light, because painting the bucket was a nightmare. I do know you can buy fluorescent tape and wrap your drumsticks in fluorescent tape. That I think would be a lot easier and a lot cheaper and probably just as effective or more effective. But this look to me is incredible. I just think that's amazing. And the light up drumsticks, if you look on Amazon, they cost about $20 a pair. But I'll tell you, when parents see you perform with these things, they'll pay for them. An alternative would be to get a couple of the little finger lights and put a pair of finger lights on each hand, and at least you'd see the light going up and down. But I will ask Jackie again where she got those lights, because that is just really cool. And somebody suggested in the chat, buy glow-in-the-dark tape and wrap that around the drumsticks. Then you wouldn't need black lights, and it would be, again, I'm pretty sure a whole lot less expensive. Somebody else posted in the chat about something that I saw that was really good. But thank you very much, everybody, for joining us for this webinar. I have to say, I was really nervous about this one. This is the first time we've tried this big a group to play and to teach. So thank you for sharing my journey in learning how to do this. Thanks so much.
Thank you for sharing your time with us today. If you would like to earn a PD certificate for this episode, download the accompanying handout, or watch the webinar, please go to workshops.musicplay.ca. See you next time.
It's time